I know I really just enjoyed it. Played it a couple of times through too, and
That's great. Great to hear.
now these past couple of days playing the updates, and I seeing the different things they've added, and definitely see more improvement. So I'm looking forward to what the full game looks like.
That's great. Ideally, we went forward, right? There was some
Yes,
improvements. Did you notice like that it's completely different from the first one, like the way it looks, the background, and all of that. It's
yes,
okay.
I definitely saw
That's
those
good.
improvements. I saw which may or may not be like that's one of my questions. I noticed right off the bat I believe the first run through, the weapon of choice he had was more of like a boomer, like a slingshot, or was
Yeah,
it
it
always?
was different. It was still a gun, but it was very different. It looked very different, and it was a different animation. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed that was a little different too was the way he moved, in particular the way he jumps.
Yeah, it was very floaty in the first one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so now it's a little bit more solid when he lands and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's see what else did I notice that was different. The response for when he's jumping off of like the
Mhm.
platforms, the I guess the bouncing
Yeah.
platforms, those, and
Well, you
then
see, what happened is because it's my very first game, so that first demo was really a lot of the stuff was made like in the first few days of me learning how to make a game. So, like the second demo is pretty much everything redone from scratch.
okay,
So it's like the whole game rebuilt from the ground up. So yeah, it still kind of feels and looks similar, but I'm hoping plays better and much tighter. So yeah, I had a good response so far. So let's see.
good, good. Now I guess let's get back to I guess the basics. What inspired you for the storyline?
Hmm. Right. Well, this is always a difficult part for me to talk about because it's all based on the story, and I can't reveal too much about the story because I'm going to spoil it.
Yes.
But but I'm originally a filmmaker, so from a filmmaking background. I went to film school, made a couple of short films and stuff. So my focus from the beginning was to tell a story, and my idea as to why I decided to do a game is because the story required some kind of interactive actions with the viewer. So there's some choices that the player had to make in the end to sort of make the story come to life. So that's why it ended up being a video game. Besides the reason that I really wanted to make games and stuff.
Okay.
So I was really inspired by a lot of Tim Burton's old, and I don't know if that comes through in the style, but a lot of the Tim Burton's old stop motion films, like Vincent, all of his black and white stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super dark with these kids. It's got this like kind of light tone on the surface, but it's very dark underneath it all. So yeah, that was sort of the inspiration for it. And the look was inspired a lot because the game, I guess what I can reveal about the story is that the game is set in Nazi Germany. So the style also was inspired by the film Schindler's List, which
Mm-hmm.
is totally black and white, and you just have the little girl in red.
Yes.
So here we have the little bunny in red, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it goes quite deep, and it starts off as this. I really wanted to start it because these like these conventional game stories where it's like, oh, this princess needs your help, you must go save her. I kind of grew sick of that a bit, and I wanted to do something different, but I wanted to start the game like this. So I want to start it as if you're gonna go save this princess, but then I wanted to flip it on its head. Unfortunately, which you didn't see in the demo yet, and kind of turn it around where you're not the guy saving the princess, and you're sort of the one that needs to be saved, and it's not at all about you having to save the princess. So yeah, that was kind of the inspiration and the idea behind it. I hope
Wonderful.
that kind of.
Yeah, as soon as you mention Tim Burton, I definitely see the connection there, and how it definitely reflects some of that style.
Mm.
So it's
That's
definitely.
awesome. The characters actually had those Tim Burton eyes,
Hmm.
because the game was fully textured initially. But I went for this style partially because it was just so much easier for me as a one man team to get it done, because if I had to texture everything, it would just take forever, and I would never finish it.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of a logistical thing, but also developed into its own style.
And so now
Yeah.
you mentioned being a one man team. Is that everything from development, the storyline?
Everything,
graphics,
everything.
everything's you.
Yeah, I have some guys now helping me with the sound and the
Okay.
music because I'm really bad at that. But yeah, everything else.
Who was your company of choice when it came to the music?
Oh, it was actually a guy. Somebody. We ran myself and my brother. We ran a Kickstarter campaign a while back, and that's where a guy called Steve that works at Giant Squid contacted me, and he really loved the game and really wanted to do the sound. And it turns out he was really good and won some awards. And I was like, cool, yeah, you're on board. So he's doing some really great stuff now. I mean, I don't know if you heard. The sound is still kind of in the works, but if you
Mm-hmm.
heard like something that was more polished was like the boss fight in the demo that you played.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds really great, and I think it's really coming together now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now I understand there's some change in the way it's going to be released. We're moving towards an episodic game. What was
Right.
what's the mind thought behind changing it like that?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I found myself starting to. So now I wanted to deliver this game. Obviously, you've got to deliver a long enough game so that it's worth it for the players and the money that they spend on the game. And I found myself starting to cut corners and starting to just add content like filler content into the game. And then I said, you know what? I can't do this. I don't know if you noticed when you played the demo, every single puzzle was unique, and it
Mm-hmm.
had its own kind of special things. So you had like the sheep with the wolf, or you had the one where you had to put the sheep in the water and stuff like that. So everything is unique. And in order for me to do that, that takes a long time. So I wanted to release the game, but then still have still continue working on it. And this was kind of a solution that I found.
Okay.
So releasing it in episodes. So kind of instead of releasing this kind of half done game, just have a really complete episode one, and then continue working on the second episode as
Okay.
that's. So, and I think that's fair, So you're getting now the game. So instead of paying, I don't know, 19.99 for the full game, you're paying 4.99, and if I guess it's fair because if the player doesn't like it, the first episode they don't have to play the second or the third or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, I think it works. I think it's like a win-win situation in the end.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's quite unique. I don't know anybody who does it. I mean, there's like bigger companies like The Walking Dead and stuff that do it. But for the little indies, I think it's a way to make, when you combine all these episodes together, I guess, it's going to make one really big epic game that would otherwise have been impossible by a single guy to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thought process behind it.
And I know previously, maybe it's still going, but I'm not sure. We People could pre-order the game for 9.99.
Yeah.
Do you still have an offer like that, or if somebody's interested in the entire package and they want all the episodes, can we buy all episodes now, and instead of waiting and paying 4.99 each time?
Right. I have not. Yes, that would be a logical thing to do. The people that already did pre-order that paid 9.99, they'll get all the episodes. But for now, we took that off, and we're still deciding. Definitely, we're going to put an offer to kind of get all 4 episodes for a cheaper price now if you pre-order, because obviously they'll help with development and everything. So that makes sense.
Mm.
But I'm not. We've not
Right.
decided like officially this is what we're going to do. But most probably yes.
Okay. And
Most
now if you can
probably.
share with everybody what's the anticipated release date now?
Oh, this is like a solid release date for the first episode is the 28th of October.
Okay.
So that's like set. Um, yeah.
That's great for a Halloween release, a nice start game.
Yeah, it wasn't intended, but it turned out like that. I just realized last minute that it's kind of ready for Halloween, and it's kind of Tim Burton inspired game, so it fits. So that's cool.
Awesome.
But yeah.
And I just thought of a question and I got distracted. What was my thought? Oh, I know also the original package, I think 9.99 came with the soundtrack.
Yes.
Is that going to include this your new music guy along with it?
Oh yeah, sure. So the soundtrack will be included, obviously from all the episodes, and I believe we're going to do a poster as well with that for the guys. Did you pre-order?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's why you're asking.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for the support.
Of course, of course. And I know we have a newly completed studio um that we're going to be using to shoot future videos, and so I'm waiting to put the poster up there so people.
That's very cool.
All right, I think. Do you have any questions? I have my partner. He's hiding.
Well, this is your interview. I'm sorry. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Doing pretty well.
This is Christopher.
Nice to
Okay,
meet you.
Christopher.
Nice to
You
meet
too.
you. Yes, I got a chance to check out the game, play it a little bit. She's in love with the game. I mean, from the start, she's like, this is my game. I love this game. I want this game. And
Right.
I've come to realize whenever she says she wants something, she gets it. She gets
That's
it.
so amazing that like that women are so into this game, and I found at PAX as well. I didn't expect this because I know like in film school they tell you as a man, do not try to write for women. You
Right.
will fail. You will not succeed. So I never expected it. I don't know what it is, but like women love it, and I think it's great. And I think it's great that we're not going for the classic save the damsel in distress story that I'm
Right.
sure you women are so sick of.
Yes.
So yeah, that's great.
Now, that leads to another question. Is there at any point in the game where you get to play as an alternate character? Like for instance, this damsel, that baby, she's in distress.
It's another like spoiler. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Yes.
Pretend I didn't ask then.
Yeah. No, you will be. Yeah. Again.
All right,
Because
awesome.
a lot of the coolest stuff that happens in the game will only come in like later, like in the kind of third quarter of the game. So it's not going to be like this first episode and then it kind of just like a repeat of that. So everything's going to be unique. Like the second episode is going to have its own set of mechanics
Awesome.
and stuff. So it's like going to keep it fresh. I hope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to share to everybody about the game?
Not particularly. I don't know. I think we covered everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, if you want to do like a kind of stream where you're playing the game and we're talking over it, and because I guess it will be cool, like to talk about like specific puzzles and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We can do that. We can do that when it's like closer to release, or rather after release. Because closer to release, I'm just gonna like be more and more stressed on next time. It's like like by looking at a developer's face, how close the release date is. It's like when you cut a tree, you can tell how old it is by counting the rings.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It just gets more and more stressful as we approach. But after release, we can definitely do it. I would really love to.
What I'll do is I'll email you around the 28th, 29th to see when things start calming down and you can
Cool.
set aside some
Yeah,
time.
we'll set up the studio.
That'd be awesome.
Now,
Where you guys in Philadelphia or?
We're in Maryland.
Ah, okay.
Yes, we're in Maryland.
Cool.
Yeah, not too far from DC, like pretty much in between DC and Baltimore. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And you're in New York?
Yeah.
Okay. So same time zone. So that makes
Same
it easier.
time zone. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys.
And can't wait for the release.
Sorry?
Can't wait for the release.
Oh man, me too.
We'll definitely be tweeting out and sharing the game as it
Awesome.
comes
Thank you
closer.
for the support, guys. It really means a lot.
Very welcome.
Anytime.
Cool, guys. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks again. Bye.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
You too. Bye.
Bye.